You're stuck. And maybe you know exactly what you need to do and you're not doing it. Or maybe you are doing everything and it's still not working. Different flavor, same feeling. That sinking realization that nothing is moving the way that you thought it would. And here's what makes it harder. You can't even figure out which one it is. Are you frozen or are you stuck on a hamster wheel? Is this a discipline problem or a timing problem? Is something wrong with your strategy or is this your old friend self-sabotage making an appearance? And I have lived both. And I can tell you right now, neither one means what you think it means. If you're sitting here wondering why the momentum isn't matching the effort or why the effort isn't happening, this episode is going to name exactly what's going on. And it's probably not what you've been telling yourself. So settle in and let's unpack this together. Here's what I've learned after years of working with high performers who feel stuck. There are two completely different patterns that create the exact same feeling, and they require opposite medicine. So, pattern A is the paralysis pattern. And this is where you have everything in place, the plan, the strategy, the skills, and you're just not moving. You know what to do, you're just not doing it. And I've lived this pattern, a year, and where I had the strategy, I had the resources. I woke up every Monday with a plan, and then I would go to bed every Sunday wondering where the hell the week went. And I wasn't lazy, I was busy, constantly busy. But busy doing what? Reorganizing my systems, tweaking my website, refining my offers, putting out fires, taking on another course, having another planning session. And I called it preparation. What it actually turned out to be was the most sophisticated form of self-sabotage, that illusion of busyness that many professionals get trapped by. And from the outside, I looked super productive. I had the spreadsheets, the timelines, the color-coded calendars, but nothing was actually moving the needle. I was just treading water, going through the motions, but not creating any forward momentum. No pitches, no sales calls, because I wasn't leaning into the places that I knew would move me out of my comfort zone and create real traction. Pattern B is the lag pattern, and this one is completely different. This is where you are doing the work consistently, courageously, and the results just aren't showing up yet. You're posting, you're pitching, you're showing up, you're doing all of the uncomfortable things, and crickets. Or worse, you're getting some traction, but it's not matching the effort. It feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill and then it keeps rolling back down. And this pattern can be especially brutal when it drags on. You're doing everything right, and the timing just isn't there yet. The seeds are planted, the harvest isn't yet visible. And because you can't see roots growing underground, you start to wonder if you planted anything at all. And here's where this gets dangerous. These two patterns feel identical from the inside. That sinking, stuck, why isn't this working feeling? It's the same, but they require completely opposite medicine. If you're in pattern A, the paralysis pattern, and you tell yourself, just trust the timing, be patient, the results will come, you will stay stuck forever. Because the problem isn't timing, the problem is you actually haven't leaned in to the more vulnerable parts of what will truly break you out of your comfort zone. You've been playing it safe. Even though it might feel like you're doing all the things, you haven't been doing the scary thing. But if you're in pattern B, the lag pattern, and you pile on more action, more hustle, more force, you'll burn out. You abandon something that was about to work You rip up seeds that were days from breaking through the soil. And I've watched brilliant people make both mistakes, this girl included. So if you're in pattern A, you'll spend months getting ready for a launch that never happens because you keep telling yourself you just need to trust the timing. And if you're in pattern B, you're putting in the effort, but then you quit before the results were just about to flood in. Because you can't handle the silence anymore. And you decide, well, I guess it's just not working. So, same stuck feeling, opposite problem, opposite medicine. So, how do you know which one you're in? Because both feel like you're friggin' stuck. So, it starts with asking the right question is how you move forward. Stop asking, what should I do? Start asking, which pattern am I actually in? Because until you know that, every strategy is a guess, and I do not want you guessing with your life and business. So stay with me because what we're getting into next is going to improve your discernment and increase the impact of your actions. But first, this is where your intuition becomes your greatest strategic asset. Because the reality is, there is a part of you that already knows which pattern you're in. Your body knows, your gut knows, but it's just not clear on a conscious level where you can actually do something about it. And it's natural to ask, what should I do? But a more powerful question to be asking at this time is, what do I need? So, together, let's get quiet for a second. I'm going to walk you through three powerful questions, and I want you to actually feel your way through each one. So, question one, when you think about taking action on the thing that matters most, does your body contract or expand? Not should I feel excited, but what actually happens in your chest, in your shoulders, in your stomach, in your jaw? If there's a clenching, a tightening, a pulling back, that's pattern A. That's fear. Something in you is protecting you from expanding outside of your comfort zone. If you're feeling a heaviness, a tiredness, I've been doing this so much and I'm exhausted, that's pattern B. That's depletion, not avoidance. The question two, is there one specific thing that you have been avoiding? Or is it everything equally? Pattern A usually has a culprit. It's that one email you haven't sent, that one conversation that you haven't had, that one publish button you haven't pressed, or it's just that one thing or area that you are always conveniently too busy or not able to get to. Pattern B is more diffuse. Everything feels heavy. You're waiting on the relief that validation will bring to keep you motivated and to stay consistent. Question three, have you actually done the scary thing? Or have you been doing everything around the scary thing? And this one hits hard. So please be kind, but completely honest with yourself. Have you sent the pitch, made the offer, asked for the sale, posted the vulnerable thing, raised your prices, had the hard conversation? Or have you been preparing to do those things while telling yourself you're working really hard? Pattern A hides behind productivity. Pattern B is depleted from actual production. And when it comes to feeling stuck, they feel the same, but they're not. Okay, so now that you know which pattern you're in, let's talk about what to do about it. If you're in pattern A, the paralysis pattern, your medicine is action, but not just any action, the smallest possible action that your fear has been blocking. So here's what I want you to do. Identify one action your fear has been helping you to avoid. The email, the call, the post, the pitch, the update, and do it this week, not when you feel ready, because you won't. Do it now. Do it today, even when it's inconvenient, even if you're too busy. And personally, I love Mel Robbins' 5 second rule for this. Just five, four, three, two, one, and do it. Because everything else, the preparation, the planning, the organizing, those have been the bushes that you have been hiding behind. And remember, readiness, it's not a feeling, it's a decision. And the fear doesn't go away. You just learn to move with it. If you're in pattern B, that lag pattern, your medicine is not more action. Your medicine is actually trust and maybe some rest. You planted the seeds. The harvest will come, but it's not here yet. Your job right now is not to rip up the seeds. Keep watering, keep tending, but stop digging them up to check to see if they're growing. The worst thing that you can do in pattern B is to interpret that lag as a sign that you're on the wrong path. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not on the wrong path. You're just in a season where the harvest isn't yet visible. And the same action that looks like failure today looks like genius 3 months from now. So take your hands off the wheel for a little, not forever, just for now, and trust that what you've planted is growing, even if you can't see it. And for your sanity, stop adding more content, more offers, more pivots. Seeds don't need more seeds. They need time, nurturing, and consistency. Now, here's something I want to offer you. Everything I just walked you through, the 2 patterns, the 3 questions, the different medicine, that's a glimpse of this type of thing that we do inside of the Breakthrough Blueprint. The Breakthrough Blueprint is a free quiz that I created that helps you identify exactly which of the 4 pillars is creating your current ceiling and that thing keeping you stuck. It only takes 2 minutes, it's 9 questions. And at the end, you don't just get a label, you get clarity. You get the language for what's been happening. And you also get a pathway forward that actually matches your pattern, not some generic advice that works for everyone except you. Because here's what I know. You've probably taken a lot of quizzes, and most of them told you things you already knew. This one's different. This one shows you the thing that you can't see because we all have those blind spots because you're standing inside of it. Now, the link for that is in the show notes. It's free, it's fast, and I guarantee it will be the most useful 2 minutes that you will spend this week. Because you don't need more random information, you need the right information for your pattern. Before I let you go, one more thing. Whatever pattern you're in, I want you to know your capacity to move forward is closer than you think. If you're in pattern A, your protective system is working. Okay, maybe a little too well, but that's a feature that just needs updating through intentional awareness and action. And if you're in pattern B, your work ethic is working. You're just in a season that requires patience more than productivity. Stick with it. The path forward isn't about doing more. It's about discerning what's actually happening and choosing the medicine that matches. And that's 2 of your core pillars in action: intuitive discernment and strategic execution. So, intuitive discernment is about tuning into what your body and your gut already know so that you can name the pattern. And strategic execution is taking the right action for your situation and not the generic advice that sounds good but doesn't fit. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what's right. Because I can bet you're already at capacity. So next week, I'm sitting down with Patty Stewart, a woman who survived a decade-long abusive relationship by learning to trust the instinct that she had been taught to silence. What finally made her listen is really going to surprise you because her story shows exactly what happens when you stop second guessing yourself and start honoring your intuition as a survival skill, not just a nice to have. So until then, trust your intuition, take aligned action, and keep leading with soul.